guys. Thanks for taking the time out to listen to my podcast. Just want to let you guys know, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. With everything you need all in one place. Listen, I was able to do this very easy. Anchor has the tools that allow you to record, edit your podcast right from your phone or the computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a lot more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, it's free. Please download the Anchor app. Go to anchor.fm to get started. Take it easy. FYI, I am damaged. Welcome. Thank you for another episode of FYI, I am damaged. Today is the Father's Day podcast. I'm joined by Jonathan, Jose, and Mike. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, man.
Let's get this started, man.
Yes, sir.
This isn't a usual planned podcast, questions, all that type of stuff. Basically off the cuff, we're here to celebrate the fathers. Because, like we all know, fathers are a little bit damaged.
A little bit is an understatement.
It's good content.
All right, so yeah, how you guys doing?
We're good. I mean, speak for the fellas, but I'm good. You know, this is the only moment off I have, so we have to do this now.
Hey, you want to do more episodes? You can.
Basketball, then he has football, then dance, and then after school programs and all the other good stuff, and then Daddy's just tired.
Yeah. So let's do the sound off. For me, myself, I have 3 boys, 10, 8, and 2. So yeah, I am always exhausted. Jonathan?
Yeah, I got 2. I got a boy and a girl. Boy's about to be 3, and the girl's about to be 2. Right? They are back to back.
Yeah.
Stop at 2. Stop at 2.
Oh no, I'm done.
Just like you planned it, right? I'm pretty sure it was exactly how you planned it.
It was calculated.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah.
To the T.
Yeah. And me, for those who know me, it's 4 of them. 2 boys, 2 girls. I go from one is in college and the other's in graduating pre-K. This is just the way I planned it.
You gotta love it when it comes out perfect, right? Well, me personally, I got 3. I got an oldest girl, and I got 2 boys. Mine are 6, 7, and 8. Bow.
Yeah, at least he took a break every 2 years. Let me think about it.
6, I got in and got out. I couldn't do the diaper phase for too long, man. So once one got out, the other one was walking. It was good.
Yeah. Hey, you took care of it real quick.
Bro, not real quick. We left Riverbank, me and Jaden, from his basketball game. And this dude was trying to sell me diapers, and I looked at him like, "Dude, no!" I felt like I was gonna fight him, just because, no, I'm done. I'm done, bro. That's an omen. What you saying? Yeah,
it's traumatic.
People always want to sell stuff on the street, but he wanted to sell me a box of diapers. I was like, "Nah, dude, I'm about to pound you out."
So what does it do with the socks?
Yeah, where the socks at? I would have bought that from you. Do with the socks.
2 for $5.
Know what I mean? Like 2 for $5. Sure, but yeah. We're Jonathan's still in diaper stage, right?
Yeah.
How's that
hopefully going? They'll be out of there. Well, they're able to tell me when they're cocky now.
At least that. They don't give it to you?
What?
They don't take it out the diaper and give it to you?
No, not yet.
Oh, you ain't not that phase yet? Gotcha.
I don't want that.
Yeah, when they give you like, look, chocolate.
Yeah, no.
They show with the shitty hand.
Yo, bro.
No, I don't
want that. They did that to Ismael, Jaden, chocolate. Ismael grabbed it out of his hands.
But did your girl do that too? Because my girl, she was real neat. My daughter Layla, she was real neat. When my son came, it was I'm carrying a diaper.
Here you go.
But my daughter, she take it off and
that. Oh no, they're not at the taking off. Listen.
Yeah. Wait till the start really wilding out.
Even when it's time to shower, it's like quick, like take off the diaper, put him inside, because it's just at any moment it's like time to let go.
No, yeah, it is at any moment.
My son will piss right in front of the tub.
Yo, this shit is like strategy, bro.
Yeah,
like wait a minute, I got to take it.
I was just about to put you in. Like, couldn't you wait? Like, nah, right now.
Yeah,
I did get the good news today though. When I picked up my youngest from daycare, they surprised. He's like, "Oh, he got a sticker on his shirt." I'm like, "Oh, what's the sticker for?" "Oh, he did pee and caca in the toilet."
In the toilet. Let's go, clap. In the toilet. Let's go.
That's a huge feat.
Yeah,
Lollipop,
in the potty.
You want ice cream for dinner?
Yeah, for dinner.
Our tablet time, do your thing.
Yeah, sure. Hell yeah.
What's the most enjoyable part? Regardless, I mean, we got kids of varying ages. What's the best thing that you like that's in the moment for you guys?
I would have to say it's random moments. Like, it's not something specific. It's just random moments. Like, I'll catch myself just staring at them. Like damn. Like, just little moments like that.
I made that.
There's like little glimpses here and there, and then like I just get the urge to like just call them and just like give me a hug, like give me a kiss, like little moments like that, and then like their reaction when they see me daily. It's like it doesn't matter, like. If they just saw me, it's like if I'm gone for a little bit and they see me, it's like it's like brand new to them. So like that pulls at my heart.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. Like, okay, so similar, right? So like, you know, last weekend I went with Jaden to his basketball tournament at Ocean City. So it was just me and him, boys out. So, you know, they calling me like, "Hey, where you at? When you coming back?" Blah blah blah. And when I came back, bro, it was as if you would have thought I was away for 2 weeks. I was like, "Yo, girls, that just FaceTimed me a few minutes ago." Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's dope though because it's genuine. You can see like it's not phony, it's not fake. And even now, my oldest son just texts me, right, and it's always, you know, "Hey dad," right?
Yeah.
You know, "Hey dad," you know what I'm saying? So like it's not "Yo pops," or you know what I'm saying? Say "Hey dad," you know.
Oh man.
Yeah, like right, like he's still like, you know, 21 years old and he's like, "Hey dad, so blah blah blah, whatever the topic is about." So it's like, so it's 21, bro. Like
I know he's asking you some weird questions now.
Nah, it's not. We've had you know what? You know what's funny with that?
What they keep saying about the man in the boat.
Yo, yeah, so bro, I'm gonna tell you this though. I like to make him like he knows I like to embarrass him. You know, also something like that. But like it's funny because I'll come up with the most random stuff, right? Like we'll be in the car together, whatever, and you know, and I just randomly like, "Hey, listen, when you doing your stuff, bro, don't be leaving evidence in the room." You know? And he just looks at me like, "What are you talking about?" As if like I know you be leaving stuff there. You can't be leaving that stuff there. You gotta wipe that off, bro. Like, wear a sock, do something. And he just looks at me like, and he's like, "Okay, Dad." Like, I was like, "Okay, I just called him."
Don't go into the room with lotion, but come out ashy.
Right,
Everybody knows what you're doing.
okay, exactly. Like, come on, at least put the lotion on. I mean, like, but but you know, and then like, so he was like, "Yo, honestly, I'll be wilding." I was at one of my homies' funerals, right? We were, you know, everybody grew up on the block. We were all together. This is for Robert's funeral, right? We were all together chilling. So I'm introducing Jose because last time a lot of them saw him when Jose was little. So they seen Jose mad tall, mad big. So I was like, "Oh, Jose, look, that's Lisi, whatever." Like, "Yo, that could have been your mom, bro." Like, he's looking at me like, "Yo, what?" I like, dead ass, yo. I mean, everybody starts laughing.
To your son
And then we saw my friend Jamie. Like, "Jay, yo, this is my son, whatever." He goes, I like, yo, I almost lost my virginity. Yeah, bro. Oh my God, Lord have mercy, everybody, but I'm with it because. And then we went to my friend Janati. I was just gonna tell him that she worked at the gift shop at Albert Einstein when he was born. You know what I'm saying? But he was already thinking, "Oh, this thing smashed up." Like, I don't want to hear it. That.
and then you love that look from his face.
Oh
like,
no, bro, he was trying to abort mission.
Is my father,
bro. He was trying to abort mission. Like, yo, pops, you wildin'. Like, you know what I'm saying? But to have that, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like, it's hilarious. But it's to have those moments, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to have those moments with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you say stupid shit when we was younger, and at the moment I was like, yo, pops, you wildin'. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, honestly, what he was doing. Like, the same time, it's the same thing I do with Jose now. It's funny stuff.
Yeah, I gotta say, the moments with my kids, I mean, I agree with both y'all, but the moments of my kids are all different characters.
Yeah.
And when you see them in their character, it's hilarious. Like, other times when they're around people, they're trying to be good kids, and they're trying.
They're trying, bro.
They're trying. But then when you see them in a character, so like my oldest, my daughter, she's a TikTok star. Like, it bothers me.
I got you.
It bothers me, but she's good. Right.
Right. Now, you don't want to say it, but like, damn, she got good content.
Like, come on. She's got the swagger in front of the camera. She's good at school, so I can't take anything away from her. I can't come down on her. So, but when you see it, you're looking at her TikToks, these moments, you're just like, yo, you're looking at your kid that was just this zygote.
Right. Literally. Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
Earth science.
That was just this Earth science,
yeah.
That was just this zygote that is now becoming a personality and a person. And my son, he skipped TikTok. Yeah. He wants his YouTube channel. So he
wants to upgrade.
He hacks everybody's phone. I don't know if y'all got TikTok, but I have a TikTok for my officiant thing. And he hacked my TikTok. It was like, hey guys, it's Mike, I'm here with my dad. And
posting on his shit.
It became his. So he wants to have this YouTube channel called Boogie Box, and he wants to talk about video games. He's got a plan.
Nice.
Again, the moments, just looking at these kids and like having and seeing their personality.
Yeah.
Like, and you get a glimpse of their personality outside of the things that they learn in school, outside of the stuff that they're freaking repeating off of YouTube.
Right.
But you get a chance to see them. I love those moments, man, because it makes them them. You know what I'm saying? It makes them the snowflake that they are.
Bro,
I do this,
I'm sorry. Now you say that, right? Jaden. You guys all know Jaden.
We all know Jaden.
Yeah, we all know Jaden. Like, you can say they're all characters, right? So my oldest, he's calm, collected. He's so chill, bro. He's like almost a hippie. Like, nothing bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so chill. Like, I'm like, yo, Dad, you would think he'd be smoking. Like, yo, I'm so chill, Dad. Like, Jaden, he's
the turn-up kid.
Right, he's wildin'. The Kylie, she's more the shy. She's lovable. She has like these maternal instincts, right? Something's wrong, like just with Jasmine especially, right? Because she's younger, so she'll grab her, hug her, whatever's wrong with her. She'll, Jasmine, do it like this, whatever. Taking care, gives her a bath sometimes, But Jasmine, the smallest one, she's a thug.
She's the but
she's
that's
a thug.
It always works out.
Bro,
She's the ringleader,
and she walks around with this cute face and stuff.
And the smile.
But bro, she hacks Albania's TikTok. Albania has got reported a few times because of my daughter's TikTok videos. I'm like, yo, you wilding out, bro. But she's the thug. She's like, you ever seen those like Bugs Bunny cartoons where he's against the mobster and the mobster leader is the man small, the baby. That's her.
With the diaper.
Yeah, that's Jasmine. That's Jasmine, bro. And it's like,
instead of baby kids, it's Hojo kids.
Yeah, it's Hojo's kids. No, bro. Today, before I came here, they all Albania took all of them to practice. Jada to practice, but she took the girls, and they came out the house with their snacks or whatever, and all three of them are looking at me, right? But the little ones looking at me in the face, and I was like, yo, Alba, these kids look bad, like these,
they just look bad.
Hey, yo, you guys are like baby's kids.
Just wait for somebody.
Yo,
to do
yeah. Now I know what Bernie Mac felt like. I saw a little one, I'm about to fuck you up. But yeah, man, it's cute. It's cool because that each one of them got their own personality, which makes everything hilarious, right?
Yeah,
and
keeps you on your toes.
Yeah,
Like with mine, my oldest, he's the sweetheart. He has his moments where he's a sweetheart, and then Maxwell, forget it, man. He can go balls out. Like, he doesn't give a fuck, and I would have to check him because he doesn't know his limits yet. And then the baby, he's only 2. You know, he's just what a lovable 2-year-old can be.
Yeah.
But with all of them, they catch me out there. They'd be like, "Oh, Dad, I love you." And me, I'm like, in my head, and it's like a split second. Should I be a softie or whatever? I just give them that straight look, like, you better. You better. I love you too, but you better love me. Shit.
But even that response is learn response. Like, you gotta give. You know what I'm saying? I struggle with that too. Like, trying to give my kids affection and love. How do you feel about that? Like,
I love giving them affection, but if there's a lesson to it, I always throw it in there. But I don't want to turn into the parent that always has something to teach, because they're not always going to be willing to learn.
Right.
So I gotta mix it in. Yeah, I gotta mix it in with everything else and make them feel like, okay, I got a cool dad. You know, he's smart. He's not an ignorant dude. He loves me and he wants me to be better. I want to get them, and that's a great question. I want to get them to that space of thinking when they see me, not see some dude that's fucking psycho and, you know, screaming at them, stop pissing on the fucking seat, all that type of shit. No, I want to make sure that when they look at me, they're like, I can go to him to learn something, and I'm learning that to try and get that across to them. So it's a challenge.
Nah, I dig it. The one barrier I'm trying to break is, like, I want to be the coolest dad.
Yes.
Right. So I want to be like the dad that you can just always be with.
Right.
It's not even about talk to. It's not even about, like, I just want you to be able to just like being around me.
Yeah.
I locked it with my daughter. My daughter is my best friend. We call each other the allergy twins.
But isn't it easier with girls?
No. It's not for all. I don't know. Not for all. I tell you, because mothers have this natural nurturing
Off
ability.
the rip, right?
Yep.
Off the rip, right? So where dads have this more colder way of doing things, you might be cool age 1, 2, 3. When your daughter starts to develop a personality, that cold shit.
Yeah.
It kind of like starts to like, yo, I can't come to dad for shit.
Yo.
Like honestly, like he's like so mean. They look at you like Count Dracula, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? If you don't, no, I'm serious. You have to hold.
Hey, look, I have no idea, and Jonathan, he's gonna get there soon.
You gotta have this warm approach when it comes to your daughter, and then to show of affection, even not just with her, with your son too. That you're not just doing it with her, you are. This is dad. You don't just do it with me. This is dad, and all of that, and it's a comfort. She'll come, like, my daughter comes to me for everything, and I love it. I love that she still feels comfortable that she can do that.
My oldest does that.
I mean, I feel like for now, since they're very small, they're both very lovable. Like I would honestly say, like, they both they lay on me. But as far as what you were touching on about, like, you wanting to be the cool dad, one thing that I have noticed is that, yes, I want to be that, but the surrounding, meaning like my partner, like my wife, and even not that she's doing it on purpose, normal for the mother to say, Daddy, look at what so and so is doing. So instantly, you're placed into this role where it's like, you know, I gotta go and handle this, and it's like I'm quote unquote the stern one.
Right.
So it's like without you thinking about it, they grow up in that mind frame of, oh no, don't tell Daddy. No, look. So it's like, yeah, you can be cool, but at the same time, you still want to hold that little title of enforcer. That is placed upon you without you even asking.
Listen, your vibrato.
In my house,
the belt on your pants says off with it.
In my house, you say, oh look what no, it's just one word. Daddy, and they all respond. It's to the point where she said daddy the whole time. Like, all three of them say, "Where, daddy?" Like, okay, now it's a joke, guys. Like, what we doing? Like, come on.
I'm gonna tell you how you even that out, and at least the success that I've had, because I had the blessing of having a daughter first.
Right.
All right, that softens the blow.
Yeah.
Okay, it softens you up because you realize you can't be this dude with your daughter. When you're the enforcer, you got to pick your fights. All right? Your girl is going to think that everything is a big deal. You run it by her first, is this really a big deal? Before you get to your kid, because you can't have a difference of opinion in front of your kid. You got to have a unified force.
I agree.
You got to have... you gotta have a unified force. After your wife realizes that this is it's school jello.
It's about us. It's about us.
So now, but listen, after you realize it's a big deal to wifey, you go to it, you enforce it. But the best thing about being us is right then and there we get to tell them why we're enforcing it.
Yeah.
And that's the speech.
Right.
All right, let's get back to watching Encanto.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the speech. Like as fathers, really all we have to do is really give this face. If you did what you needed to do from birth of inception up to about 2, where you just got this father face where it's kind of easier. Less if you got a son. All right, if you got a son with born leaders, they're not gonna listen to you. All right, that's when you got to be more of an enforcer. I will say that you gotta.
I agree to the point where yes, you do have to be the enforcer, but with a reason, with an explanation.
Still with the reason,
Right.
Yes.
Still with the reason.
Absolutely.
And then immediately, you can't. If they do something, you can't wait 4 or 5 hours after they've done it. They don't know what the hell they did.
Yep.
You check it right then and there.
Absolutely.
That's the speech.
Yep.
Let's watch Encanto. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Bruno? Where's Bruno?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta show that
Can't talk about him.
this is
Can't
the
talk
reason
about
why I did that. I'm not your son. I'm not scolding you. You just fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm not. You're not.
Calling you on it. This is what you did.
Exactly.
You know, whatever. All right. For me, one little exception I'm gonna have, hopefully when they get older, is that if it's funny, and I got this from a long time ago when I was younger, from Damon Wayans. He's like, if it's funny, I won't get mad.
I like that.
That is a good one.
So like, I told them, I'm like, if they see me laugh and they just see me play it off, and then they just keep going, I'm like, and I tell them like, hey, look, if it's funny, I let it go.
Did you break any
blood?
Yeah.
Did you break anything?
It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And you also, this is another thing too, that the battle we probably go with the mother of our children is you can't get mad at your children doing dangerous things responsibly.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right. That's how they grow. Yeah. That's how we were boys.
Right.
And it helps remove the anxiety too.
Yeah.
You have to let them explore. Like, so my son starts doing crazy things, like doing tight ropes off the thing. As long as he is doing it responsibly, when he falls and he hurts something, he learns, I got to do it this way.
Right.
Yeah. You walk up to them and be like,
or never to do it again. Regardless.
That's what's sorry.
What did you do wrong so that you can do it again? And,
because the problem is, if you keep doing it over and over, bro, you're being a dick. You know what I mean? And you know, I can say that to my 21-year-old all the way to my 5-year-old. Like, yo, you wilding out, homie. Like, you really bugging out.
But again, all of these moments, man, all of these moments is when you're looking at your kids even doing this stuff.
Right.
You just feel like, you're just like, wow.
And then you start analyzing, like, yo, dude, I remember I used to do crazy stuff too when I was younger. Yeah, you start reminiscing, you start wandering all
That's
this
why
wild.
you can't get too mad.
But here's my thing. So I go through that, and then I go through all, because I like to mind fuck myself sometimes. So then I go through that, and then I'm like, damn, but what if I get a phone call that something happened to one of them? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because you hear all this stuff in the news lately, bro, and it's driving me insane, bro. Like, it's so whack. Like, bro, we used to go to the bodegas to run errands, bro. I do not want none of my children going to the bodega for anything right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? Why I feel like I gotta go? But again, as the world is evolving and it's wilding out, you gotta adjust to it. But it's like, even right now, so Jaden, my wife wants to put Jaden into an away camp, right? Bro, I'm not ready for that.
How far away?
It's in Maryland.
That's far, but not far.
Yeah, right. But see, the thing with me, and then I started going as far as, I don't know if I want them camping, like Like, you saw how Friday the 13th. You saw how Friday the 13th started. I mean, Jason drowned.
Don't say
and
that.
Came back and killed everyone.
I can never get that fucking scene out of my head.
When he comes out the water and grabs the chick.
No. The scene where he grabs the chick. Or I don't know if it's a chick or a guy in the sleeping bag, and they just start whacking him against a tree,
right? So my thing is this, right? See, that's why I don't want to take Jada in the camp because of stuff like that. No sleeping bag. He's gonna have to sleep outside. You know what I mean? And the cold naked. But no, I'm not the type that wouldn't have been down with that. I'm like, hell yeah. But then her reason of doing this is so Jay could learn to do stuff without us being there, right? Little simple stuff, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to learn to be independent when we're not around. I'm all with it, but it's like then I start reflecting. 12 years old, I was taking care of my sister, while my mom was running an errand in the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew people's phone numbers by heart at that time. If something happens here, I know which neighbor to knock first, whose house to go to. You know what I'm saying? We had all that set at 12 years old. And it wasn't really much that, my parents told me what to do. Like, okay, mira, if anything, Anna's next door, right? Mm-hmm. I don't have an Anna. You know what I'm saying? Like, these neighborhoods, everybody's scared too. And they're about themselves too. You know what I'm saying? So
we don't have a village.
Right, we don't have a village. Yeah. There we go, right. Growing up on Sherman, if I was to run, we used to, play around, whatever. Sometimes we wander off the premises, like the circumference of the zip code. Bro, we'll come back. My mom already knew where I was at. Like, how the fuck you knew that? I was like, they called me.
They called me and said, I saw your son.
I ain't telling you who, but she knew every detail, bro. Now as an adult, I appreciate that, right? But I'm like, they wilding out. I was like, I wasn't doing that. Sometimes it's different, right? So again, 12 years old, I was doing it, but now I gotta send my son to the weight camp so he could learn to be responsible.
12 years old, but we keep making the mistake as elevation as parents. We keep making the mistake that their 12 years old is different than our 12.
Right. Yeah.
Like I started crossing the street at 6.
Bro, right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not different. We gotta empower these kids,
bro.
Like to let them know that this is what you have to do, and you're growing into a grown up. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna jump in right now, and I suggest all of you guys do the same. You're probably gonna be ready. Your son is too. 5 years old. At 5 years old, there's a tradition in my kids. They all get their own banking. They get a freaking debit card.
Go Henry, I did that.
Listen, you gotta understand. Our age, we got allowance. When we spent our money on freaking peanut shoes and now laters,
those $2 or $3 we used to get.
We saw the money leaving. And it was like we're about to run out.
Right.
Nowadays, my son blows all his money on Robux. Right? Right? So it's digital.
It's digital.
They gotta learn how to spend that digital money, and if you wait until they're 16, they're gonna get good at spending your money.
Jaden got VC points for his. That's for his NBA 2Ks and the Maddens. Right. He needs Steph Curry to be at 100, or he needs Odell to be at a.
But if you tell them, you got to take out the trash and you get $5 for that. You got to give me an A and you get $10 for that. And that's how their bank account grows and they work.
Okay.
And when he doesn't have enough money to make Steph Curry 100,
bro, you should have done better.
I took my daughter. Right. This is the kicker when I knew it was working. I took my daughter. I had to go buy some new Dre Beat headphones because I ran like a half marathon, right? So my daughter, I took her to Best Buy to buy these headphones. She saw a LOL doll. It's like the new
I've seen them. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Got a few.
She said, Daddy, I want this LOL doll. She had a debit card. I said, baby, go get the LOL doll. She goes and gets the LOL doll. We get to the register. And I'm paying for my headphones. I swipe. It goes through. She goes to the next register. She buys her LOL doll, and it gets declined. Right?
Learning experience.
Right. You're way ahead of me, right? So she asked the man in true grown-up form, could you try it one more time? Right?
Sound like
that's good for it. So he swipes it again and just looks at me. Right? And then he gives her the card back and she says, Daddy, I think my card is broken. And I said, no, baby, you're broke. We're just going to talk about this when we get in the crib, right? It was that moment I showed her how to do online banking.
Yeah.
I showed her what her bank account was. She knew how much the LOL doll was. She knew small math.
Right.
So all she...
So yeah, like fucking crack bottles with different colors. It was red, yellow, fucking blue. Yo, me and Louis used to play with that shit. Like, I don't know if I ever told my parents that, but, you know, I knew what it was. Like, because we got taught that, you know, in school, crack is whack, blah, 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 you know.
Just say no?
Just say no. So, you know, we knew it was wrong. Not that we was playing with the actual crack. It was just the tops. Like, it was just something interesting because of the colors. But now, bro, like, bro, if I see a crack bottle in a schoolyard now, I'm like, yo, what?
Yeah.
First of all, and I'm judging the person, like, my dude, we still doing this? Like, fuck, there's so many other things.
Right, do
We still doing crack?
Weed's
like,
legal. Why you
yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, you know, but yeah, but the concept of, you know, it's like you don't want the kids to go through the negative stuff you've gone through in life, right? Of course, like, because, you know, nobody want to go through that pain. Nobody wants to. There's no need for you to hop on dirty freaking mattresses out there anymore. Yeah. Like, this is not a thing. At the same time, but at the same time, you're like, yo, but that made me strong, though, bro. That made me that made me with a different kinds. Like right now, Jaden's scared of dogs. No matter what size of the dog. I'm like, why? Yo, you would have sworn a dog attacked him. And he's like, nah, I'm just scared of him. I'm like, yo, dude, you're on a 82 fade, X route spot, and you know what I'm saying, football, and you're fast, and you're worrying about a little chihuahua barking at you, bro. Like, I mean, maybe he doesn't like you, Jay. That's all it is. Like, and he'll just be like, but why? I ain't do nothing. Like, yo, and then I'm like, yo, I don't know what to tell you, bro. But yeah, it's you know.
I think that's one of, like, the biggest, like, well, for me personally, before my kids were actually born, like, that's one of the things that just kept me up. It was the constant thinking of, like, how to give them enough suffering, for a lack of a better word, and at the same time level of comfort that I didn't have.
A better life.
And it's like I heard a quote one time that said, show me a great man who's the son of a great man. It doesn't exist. It's like, meaning the first one was self-made, and then if you give all the advantage to the second one, you don't get the same outcome.
Right, because you didn't have to fight as much as the dad did before,
so
whatever.
Like,
they don't have the adversity.
Right, yeah, right.
Finding that balance of just like, you know, I'm here if you fall, but you're gonna have to go through it.
Right.
You're gonna have to
take this to the chin. Yeah.
And all that. So that's one of the things, like we were touching on earlier about the different characters of each kid. It's like one of the things that excite me of seeing them now is because I wondered so long, how are they gonna act? Like, you know, how's the mannerisms gonna be? How's the laughter sounds and stuff like that. So to see it come full circle and now you're seeing it, it's like it's a lot of ongoing things, like, for me, especially that balance of how much should I let go and how much should I hold on.
Right.
So it's work in progress, but
no, it will always be, bro. It will never end.
It never ends.
And you know that saying, like, you know, the it takes a village, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, even now, like, yeah, I'm 4 kids in, and whatever experience I have, you know, it's kind of like you want to pass down to other people the knowledge and all stuff, but at the same time, it's like kind of like
it's the experience.
Yeah, the experiences you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna have to go through this because the other kids is different. My adversity might be different from your adversity, or whatever the case may be. So, like, you might have a certain knowledge about this topic that I don't know about. Just because I'm a dad earlier or whatever doesn't necessarily mean I can't learn from you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Which then I pass down to my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
it's learned behavior.
So right. So it literally, that whole, you know, it takes a village. Like example, you've taken my son Jaden to basketball practices. You're gonna take Jaden Mike to this Saturday, football, right? So, you know, I wouldn't not trust. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, I trust y'all to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying, it's not. And I don't feel like, no, maybe I got to do it. I have to because I'm dad. Like, I have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro. Like, you know, I'm however you can make it there. You know, whatever. And if my peeps got to take you, then that's what's gonna happen.
But you know what the bugged out thing about it is. What you just said is, you know, the whole in the frame of you know, it takes a village is that in this day and age, it's a luxury to some. It's a luxury
To have a village.
Yeah. To have that's in a roundabout way of somebody saying, you know, oh, let me handle that for you. That is a luxury now, even amongst those who have nothing.
Right.
And even this back then, like how you say, you know, with your mom and dad still being together. No, I'm from a single parent household.
Right.
A lot. And it's like, I'm guessing my mother was just making the sign of the cross that I came home alive.
Right.
You don't know how many times, and it's like, even reflecting with RG, it's just, I don't even know how I made it out of, I was born in 78. I don't know how I made it out of the 80s. The 90s, the 2000s, alive.
Those
in
were
the South
different.
Bronx.
Here,
alive.
those were different, bro.
They're different times.
You know what I'm saying? Through the fucking
this was like La Pela all over.
All that type of shit. Gang, all that type of shit. Yeah. And I never got intertwined with it. And I am where I'm at. I am where I'm at. Being here, having this podcast, having you guys here on the back deck in a home that I purchased with, you know, with my wife, and it's just it's sort of like survivor's remorse.
Right. I can see that.
You know, so it's so fucking bugged out that
even when you do make it, you feel bad about it.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what?
You want to help the hood.
Yeah. But I do feel it, but then it also brings me back to be like, you know, no.
Right.
I bust my ass
for it,
and I'm gonna show my kids how I bust my ass, so they can know that they're not gonna sit on their ass playing their games. They're gonna know what hard work is, but it's not gonna be jumping on dirty mattresses, staring at fucking maggot eating dogs, you know, or whatever. But then I do worry because one of you guys said it's like, you know, worrying about giving them the adversity. It's with my oldest, he's been with us since the first apartment in the South Bronx on Hoe Ave that, you know, RG and I, when we got together, and then moved to the second apartment on 149th, and then moved to the house. But my second child, he just remembers the second apartment, and then the house, then the baby. He's gonna be a fucking psycho. He just knows the house.
That's all he knows.
He just knows space.
He's gonna say apartment.
Grass.
What is this?
What are you talking about? Concrete.
Yeah. Like,
you know what apartment?
All these people live in this place.
Yeah. Nobody has a house like this.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, let me show you.
Oh no! When they start telling the other kids, yeah, my house is better than yours. I'm like, shit. The parents are talking about us.
My son dead ass goes and knocks on other people's apartment, thinks he can go in their rooms. Like he thinks they can go in their rooms.
Like, yeah, okay, I'm in here. All right, like, yo,
this is our house. This is a big house.
The baby's not gonna know the fucking struggle of having an idiot upstairs neighbor that lets their child run at like 2 a.m. back and forth. None of that. And then you call them on it, and they're like, "How the fuck you knocking on the? Why you knocking on the ceiling?" And blah blah blah. Why you having your kid up at 1, 2 a.m. running back and forth? He's not gonna know none of that.
But it's even just the adversity of walking home from school in the South Bronx. Like I mean, a part of me deals with the same struggle that you have, John, because I really want my kids to have that for some reason. You know, I got this battle with my child's mother about she thinks that do I think I'm better than her because I had that struggle and part of me wants to say yeah. Right? Are we gonna bleep that out? Part of me wants to say yeah because I came from nothing where I thought it was cool to eat peanut butter and jelly for dinner. So as long as I don't have that, I think I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? And so when things go awry and I'm not stressing out, I'm like, things are going to be okay. She's losing her fucking mind. You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm not eating peanut butter and jelly for dinner. This is what we're not doing. Like, I'm okay, but she's still like, oh my God, we have to start using our savings. We got to start blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm not eating peanut butter and jelly for dinner. We just came back from Guatemala. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're okay, you know? So again, I want my kids to have that same mentality. I don't want them to have this, like the same struggle you're dealing with, but your 2-year-old grows up in a house. And they think that this is it.
normal.
And if I don't have this, I'm fucked up in life and I'm depressed. And there's no beginning for them.
I'm fucked.
There's no beginning for them. I got this one. I work in banking, and I had this one client when I was young. He brought his son at 18 years old, Jewish guy. Last name was Levin. Remember the first name, but gave this kid $10,000 and gave him the talk right there in my office in front of me and said, "Son, this is what you're gonna do with your life. This is what I was able to provide for you. Like, by the time you got to 18, you're gonna have to make this work."
Right.
Is that something that we?
That's crazy.
Imagine that. Like you work hard as a man, right? And you brought up a savings for you, of course, for you to retire. But then there's a separate savings for your firstborn son.
Right.
And you're like, "Son, this is 20 bands. I can't give you nothing else ever in life. You gotta make this work.
Right.
You gotta.
No matter what you do right now."
I feel like for example, both my kids, the day they were born, we opened up bank accounts for both of them. So obviously they'll find out later on, but they don't have no concept of what that is.
They don't rob you.
To touch back on what you were speaking of, and also what I mentioned with dealing with how to balance it out. One thing that did calm me down afterwards, after I had my kids, was that I started to reflect on like my mom and my family members. My mom was a single mother, but I had aunts and uncles. But I started to think, and I said to myself, wait a second, my mom was how old? And I'm like, everybody was in their 20s. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Right.
Like, not at all. They were winging it.
They were learning on the fly.
Stressing it of how to do it perfectly.
In our 30s.
Yeah. And they winged it. They just made it look effortless.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with winging it. Maybe I shouldn't stress it so much and just let it play out.
There's no instruction.
Yeah, right. There's no fatherhood for dummies. Like it's just like, listen. It starts like when the child is born, right? So they say hospitals like, okay, 2 days here, you're responsible for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You and the mother of the child are the only ones responsible for this human being that you're taking out of the hospital.
Yep.
Like, no matter what happens, like, and you can't say it's because you left out of here with that boy, with that child's last name. You know what I'm saying? Like, so off that alone, it's like, okay, shit, this is not a PlayStation. Like, this is not a, you can't press pause. You can't press pause on this, right?
It's not even a dog when a life is accelerated.
Yeah, right. Or a gigapad, bro.
You know what I'm saying? When a life is accelerated by 7 years. I'm only gonna be doing this for maybe about 10 years because he's gonna be 70. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit! Like I gotta deal with a funeral in 10 years. Right.
Like me, literally, like I was literally a father before I became a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was 19, but bro, 19. You know, like I made decisions where, at first I regretted it, and instantly because I was younger and I started thinking one way, but now I'm like, well, things happen for a reason. So if my route went that way, then I wouldn't have a Jaden or a Kylie. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So
it's all the adjustment bureau.
Right? Like these hypotheticals, people. You know what I mean? But like as Mike, we played football throughout high school and we were good at it, and we were getting our little offers from D2 schools or D3s. I don't think there was a D1. No, right? I don't remember.
I had Norfolk and Auburn.
Right, and I had AIC from Springfield, Massachusetts, and Bryan College. D2. So I'm like, But I decided I was gonna be the responsible guy, right? Because how am I look? I leave like, oh, this nigga knocked you up and left you hanging, like. So I didn't want that stigma. Again, I don't regret it because to be quite honest, and I don't know if people want me to say this, but I don't know if people are gonna hear this, but
say what you say.
Certain people, but at the time, I was the only one who wanted the pregnancy. Like after we found out that we were, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I was the only one. From the very beginning, it wasn't an option of like, okay, let's go get an abortion. And from the very beginning, I was like, okay, well, we're having a child. Like, I was accepting the responsibility because this is what we do.
Yeah.
Like, in my head. You know what I'm saying?
19.
At 19. You know what I'm saying? So, I was always a little wiser than others growing up in the hood, like in the same. But that was my mindset. Like, okay, well, I did this, and this is what we got to do now.
I feel like it every man, not, I don't want to say they step up to it, but I feel like every guy is met with this like mental challenge where it's like, do you accept, or it's up to you whether to accept or not.
I'm not gonna not accept. I'm no coward.
Exactly. So
How dare you?
I feel like everyone has that option, and when you lean into it, that's when the whole mind shift, because everyone always has questions like, oh, so what does it feel like to have a kid, or like what did you feel? And it's hard to explain because it's not a feeling necessarily. It's like a nudge, and the intensity comes when you lean into it, when you say, I'm about to be a father, like let me get on this. That's really like the feeling, but it's hard to describe, especially if you've never had a child. Like for me, I had my son like in my 30s. Like I'm 34 now, so I had him. I guess you could say later.
You're at where I'm at. I had my first child in my early 30s. So
me too.
Trust me. And I was gonna say with and just real quick, it's just with Jose. It's like how you said that you became a father like at such early age. It wasn't any different for me at early 30s. So because you went through it first.
I just got to it earlier.
I went through it in my early 30s, and then I see you. I'm seeing you, seeing me 10 years later. So I know what you're going through, and please continue.
No, it's another thing that I wanted to touch on is it's not, see, for men, well, personally for me, the intensity of having a child at a certain age is not placed upon you like it is on a woman. See, my wife and I, we planned it, obviously. It took a while. It wasn't necessarily, I always joke with her because I always say, had we been 16 and careless, this would have happened quick. It's
Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that analogy of women are mothers when they're pregnant,
and men become fathers when the baby is born?
Exactly. You never heard that?
Yeah.
You guys are really in sync with that one.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Full disclosure,
the guys didn't mean to say that like that. They just came out fluently.
100%. Women become mothers when they become pregnant. Men become fathers once the baby is born.
That's a fact.
We immediately throw on the cake. We immediately throw, and it hasn't hit us that this one night that we had turned into, right? And then once this baby is born, we're like, wow. The baby starts crying, and you know why, because it's hungry.
Who cut the cord?
Go do something. You gotta go feed the baby. You gotta do something. You gotta go feed the baby.
You guys cut the cord for the firstborn?
I keep it a buck. For my daughter, I was kind of pissed off because my daughter was born at like 1:31 a.m. and the doctor was mad tired. So when my daughter was born, the doctor tried to do some mad quick shit and just cut the cord and just like, yeah, the baby's in. And I was pissed off. Yo, I was so pissed off. But yeah, for all my other kids, I was able.
You know what's full disclosure? One of these did you know moments in my life. I cut them all except Jasmine's, the last one. Alba wanted to cut it because she said she's never gonna have an experience to cut it.
Really? She leaned over and
she was there, my legs wide open, bro. Ready? Can I cut it? I snipped it right there.
I'm gonna tell you why. That's why Jasmine's the thug. That's why she's the thug. That is some dumb shit.
That explains a lot.
I don't even explain to Alba like that.
That could explain a lot.
That is conception of Alba just going like this, just snipping it.
It was almost the equivalent of like the Kardashians. When Kourtney put the baby out, I got this, I got this. Snip. I'm like, yo, we got video of that shows. I was like, yo, that explains a lot, Mike.
That's thug life.
She's a thug. Yeah, and it started there.
Yeah. But that's honestly that's my regret. It's when Brandon was born. I cut his cord. The weirdest shit. I know he's gonna be something different because I shit you not. He was born. He came out. This is all he did.
My God.
He didn't cry. He did not fucking cry.
Really?
He didn't cry. I cut the cord. He didn't cry. They put him in the thing to heat up.
Yeah, the heater. Yeah.
Did not fucking cry.
My guy.
Maxwell.
He was living life.
I think he's the way he is because when he came out, he had the fucking cord around his neck.
Oh,
he came out blue.
Right.
And then, they just told me step back. They did their thing. Boom, he started crying. So, honestly, that's like, he's the fucking Energizer Bunny.
Right.
Like, he doesn't know what the fuck
like, he
stop.
started through adversity off the rip.
And then Logan, he was the C-section baby.
Right.
He wasn't ready to come out. It was all weird, and they just like, look, we got to get him out. Everybody's stressed. The baby's stressed. She's stressed. Let's get him.
He's stressed because y'all trying to force him out.
Yeah, it was like fucking 3 in the morning. I didn't sleep the whole. It was like 3, 4 in the morning. Boom, he finally came out, and we were just fucking fried.
Yeah.
And she didn't feel anything.
Bless
you. And yeah, so it's like I think it does have in a certain way if you kind of like granularize it to those events and how it affects them and the baby and then they carry it subconsciously. I mean, I don't know.
Butterfly effect.
Exactly. So
100%.
it's like it's weird because it's like I see all that. I'm so involved as a father, and to see them growing the way they did, and I know how they are from 0 to now. I see your book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing every fucking page.
Every chapter.
Every paragraph.
I fucking see it. I'm that old man. Like, just standing there and seeing the book and your pages just flipping. And I'm like, I know I know what you're going to be, but you're not going to believe me when I tell you. Until you're ready.
Right.
Well, one thing that I've kind of obsessed with, multiple things, but one of them being I bookmark things in my mind of lessons that I want to share when they're ready. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're going on 2,
Good luck,
going on
that's
3.
Just never gonna happen.
And it's so many things that I catch in life in general where I'm like, oh, good teaching moment for the future.
Right.
But the main thing that I've lately been obsessed with, it's if I put it in one word, it would have to be just like legacy. Right. I'm becoming obsessed with what's my fingerprint on my kids. That's really becoming my obsession to the point that I can honestly say it has shifted my actions, like my way of just doing things, even when they're not around.
100%.
Because I'm focused on like what am I leaving? What is it that they see? Now, the reason why I brought that up is because I want to touch on what we don't think kids remember. People
forget there's fucking sponges. There's sponges.
Yeah. Bro, but fuck all that. Like, we were sponges.
Yeah.
Like, I can remember stuff, bro, when I was, you know what I'm saying, before my 5th birthday, clearly, bro. Like, I clearly, like, remember, I remember the other podcast that we had about my uncle's passing, that I told you, like, oh, well, yeah, I remember him taking me to a motorcycle race in PR. Yeah. Bro, that was before, like, kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? Like,
small.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. So, like you said, Jonathan, about them knowing or what we saw, what they saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but at the moment, we're not thinking, because we're adults at this point, right? So, like, you start reflecting back, you're like, no, dude, I remember, 1982. I remember 1986.
I'm gonna
vividly.
I'm gonna one up you. I when I was younger, I told my mother, I remember when you kicked my father out of the house because you found out he was cheating and he got somebody else pregnant. Oh wow! And I was pretending I was sleeping in the bed. I don't even remember. I was probably like 5, 6, 7. I was pretending like I was sleeping in the bed. She fucking flipped out and kicked him out. She's like, she gave me this. She gave me this face like, you remember that?
Right.
I said, I never forgot it.
Right.
So. So I got a question for you guys, and it's based on that because, like you said, as adults, sometimes we get lost just in regular life, and we don't notice that they're capturing and they're remembering. So the reason why I bring that up is because I'm now a firm believer that what they capture as children, some way, somehow manifest as adults when they get older.
Of course.
That being said, there was a situation. Now, my mom does not remember. She probably will say, like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It was a chain of events that happened when I was a child where I would see my mom. We lived with my aunt and uncle when I came into this country. But I would see my mom, my aunt, and then the last person was my uncle. And they would arrive home between, I would say, 5 and 8 p.m. and they were miserable. So growing up, my experience of the adults working is they're miserable.
Work sucks.
Yeah. As a child, I would say to myself, I don't want to have a job when I grow up. Because if this is what a job, like, I only saw them happy in the weekend. Like, honestly speaking.
And in this day and age, most of us do.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, my mom, she didn't know she was projecting that.
Right,
but
right.
I captured that as a child. And I'm pretty sure if my mom would have been a bit more conscious of, I don't want to say being fake, but, maybe putting on a smile when she walked through the door, my perception of what a job was when I was a child would be a bit different. So tying that into my actions now as an adult around my kids, I wanted to ask you guys, do you think that there's such a thing as kind of like shaping your child's future based on what they sponge from you?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I'm gonna tell. I didn't even think about it until you just.
No, I'm trying to go deep.
That was a good one.
It is. And I think
Health therapy over here.
No, listen. Mental Health Month was last May, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't think about it until right now. Now, one of the disagreements that I have with my lady is that she calls me fireman. Right? She calls me the fireman because, like, me and amongst my friends, I always want to be that friend. Right. I always want to be the guy that if I'm fucked up, I know I can call Mike, or I know I can call Tiki, or I know like it's.
That's a fact.
Now, being that she requires a lot of attention as a woman, she doesn't like that, right? I tie that to how I was raised with my granddad.
Listen up, ladies.
And my granddad was the fireman of the neighborhood, and my grandmother got mad at it. My grandfather owned a laundromat in the neighborhood, made decent money, right? But what I didn't know is that my granddad used to pay people's rent for people when they were messed up.
Oh, shit.
My granddad would give the shirt off his back, would do people's laundry for free if they was messed up, right? And my grandmother wasn't feeling it. The big also part of that I didn't know is that my granddad got up every day and went to work. I don't know why he did it. The laundromat never closed, guys. It was open 7 days a week.
So
like my granddad just got up and went to work. Like he would. I tie that to me now that I think that my granddad did that so that he can have enough to provide for his family and still be that fireman, and still be that man. That's the argument I have with my lady now.
But
I do that shit subconsciously.
That's a pillar. That's being a pillar of your community.
And it was crazy because he's not even thinking about doing it. He's just doing it.
I didn't think about it until you just said that.
He was hardwired to eventually end up like this based on his grandfather's actions.
Oh my! What my grandfather.
Unconsciously.
I've been in banking since I've graduated high school. I've had this job. I've had this job. I've owned several businesses. I run them. I make decent money. And my lady gets mad because of the way my money's allocated because I want to help. I think I make enough to
put
Aiden in a freaking football camp and still be able to pay my rent. But my lady's like, but now we can't go out on Friday, right? But that's her thing, right?
But now I think, in my opinion, I think that's it goes into the lane of a little bit of selfishness. Do you see that or no?
I think it is selfish on my part.
On your part,
I think. Well, here's the growth. Here's the emotional growth, right? that makes me feel good.
You sound like.
Well,
I was gonna say you sound like you took it out right there.
That's
But
selfishness on your part, though. That's not selfishness on your part.
However it is. Right, to know that I have.
Well, look, I want you to sleep in your bed. I want you to sleep in your bed.
No, I'm not saying this to save grace.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying this as an emotional growth.
Right.
As emotional growth that I have learned that yes, that is selfish. To know that I do have responsibility to cater to maybe my lady's emotions about something, where there has to be some type of compromise where, okay, she's not feeling this, and if there was ever a time that you wasn't feeling something, you would want her to listen.
My dude, there has to be compromise on both parts. Yes, it may if you're ignoring her to the point where she has to complain, but if she's not seeing your selfless actions towards the people within your sphere of influence, and you can make a difference to somebody, then yeah, that's a little bit selfish on her part, in my opinion.
But she's not wrong either.
She's not wrong.
Right. You're not wrong. She's not wrong.
Right.
But again, the word I continue to use is emotional growth. Is that you have to see it from a different perspective. That all your lady is saying is to put your mask on first when the plane is going down.
Yeah.
That's all she's saying. That's all she's saying. You can't see it from
She understands.
Don't see it from. She understands what you're doing, but don't see it from a combative perspective.
That's different. That's different.
Don't see it from a combative perspective. We always want to be combative with our ladies, right? When they're saying something, but all she's saying is that listen, home right here. It does need just a little bit attentive to. Like I understand that your friend needed this and you needed to do that. She don't see it as a combative, and then the fact that you felt self-fulfilling by doing this and ignoring that responsibility of what was happening at home, bro. Yes, that is a bit selfish. You really do have to look at it and then take a step back and take that lesson into the next decision that you make.
I see what he's saying because what he's trying to point out, and I think it's the listeners are kind of missing it. He gets something out of being the fireman,
Of course.
like the being there for someone. It does something for him. That's what she's referring to, as in you're selfish.
My point of view. My point of view is me coming from my bias. In a sense, is that I've been in relationships where, no matter how selfless I've been outwardly to those around me, and then being selfless to my lady, where she didn't understand, like, look, I'm doing this because this is a person that's a part of me. This is a person that's a part of my sphere that I want to help, but then they don't see it that way. But you're saying that she does see it that way. But she will immediately check you to say, look, you're lacking here. We're being affected. There's no balance. That's the difference. I never had, when I was younger, I never had that. So it makes a difference to say to somebody, you know, you're dealing with someone that's calling you on this shit, but not understanding the full scope of it. So you're in a good position.
Well, think about us at a younger age, though. Right? Are we?
There's no understanding.
Are we really receiving that from the lady, right? Because again, it's combative.
And I never did.
She's saying something that I'm not doing.
Right.
We as men, we recognize all the things that we're doing for our lady, and the moment that she says something that we're not doing, we're like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking? But you're thinking about all the things. You're like, this is one more thing.
You're getting the clarity from your lady.
I'm not getting the clarity.
No, you're getting to the sense.
I want you to know that I'm in the same boat.
No. To the sense.
This is a lot of growth here, fellas. Like I'm telling you, I'm not getting the clarity.
To the sense of she's telling you, look for the balance. That's what I'm saying.
She's nagging. She's nagging. She's nagging.
Wait, but you just said it though. You're saying you said that she's telling you.
I like her, Mike.
A little bit is going this way when it needs to come this way. So
right. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what
I never got that.
But here's the thing: what you got is exactly what I got. but what you understood and listened to is might not what I've understood and listened to through emotional growth. So again, I understood that they're saying the same thing, that your lady is saying the same thing that my lady is saying.
My ex-lady.
Your ex-lady, right?
Yeah, that's scenario.
But to sit back to say, I'm not going to yell back at you. I'm going to take some time and gather my thoughts.
Right.
And understand why the fuck are you yelling at me. That's what it was. So, yes, the same thing. She doesn't understand. She gets mad. I'm saying it in a nice way.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. She gets mad.
Oh,
we have stupid fucking arguments, and I have to tell her this is who the fuck I am. Leave me alone, right? Right. So that's the real for the fellas, right? But the reach out to answer your question is that I was programmed this way through just watching this.
Right.
So now I have to understand. I have to help her understand that. I have to help her understand my perspective. We both grew up in different morals, values, right?
And it's rough for you to explain that to somebody who's never been through that.
And and it's rough to explain to someone who you just the hell are, right?
Yeah.
But what she's saying is, nigga, that's not who I am, right? My family like kind of needs this, and right now you're over there doing this. Yeah. So like when I needed you, you were kind of busy and you needed to put your priorities straight, right? Okay. And it's just like, okay, there has to be some type of compromise. Why she's doing it? So not being combative and saying, okay, bitch, okay, I'm busy. Like what the fuck? It's like, why? And you have to find some type of balance, right? You got to find some type of balance.
Always.
So she has to understand who you are. You have to understand why she's asking these questions.
Right.
I personally just look at it from me saying you are who you are and I am who I am. My whole method of doing that is I say, listen, are you angry? Yes. Will you think about this on Friday? Right? Yes, I will. Okay.
Damn.
All right. So that's the sex.
Serious.
Sometimes you won't think about it on Friday. Then get over it. Then move on, right? And so, but if you
is that a rule that you guys have?
This is standard. I say this in the beginning.
This is protocol.
This is protocol.
It's the severity. It's like they don't. Sometimes for me, it kills me. It's like, is this going to be an issue a week from now?
Yo, you have. This is how we pick our battles.
I'm not sleeping in the bed.
This is how we pick our battles. This is how we pick our battles. Like our women are gonna nag us about it all, fellas. Will we think about this on Friday?
I won't think about it in 2 hours later.
If you're not going to think about it on Friday, fellas, concede. All right, concede. All right, but here's the thing. Will I think about this on Friday? We're talking about, are we going to move? We're talking about saving money. We're talking about where our kids are going to go to school. Yes, I'm going to think about this on Friday. Okay, can I change the situation? No, I can't. Fellas, concede. All right? That's what you think about it right then and there. Can I change the situation? Yeah. Fellas, concede. But then you ask yourself again, can I change the situation? Yes, my voice is valid. I can change the situation. Actually, I'm the voice of the situation. Right. Then that's the battle you need to have. Other than that, pick your battles. Right. Pick your battles.
For both sides. For men and women, pick your fucking battles.
Pick your battles.
Pick my battles.
Yep.
Pick your battle.
Nah, I like to just battle.
So, okay, considering the vein, the episode, the greatest enjoyment of parenting with your significant other.
It's funny, right? Me thinking about this episode and stuff, right? About fatherhood and everything. One of my things I learned on and being a dad here, so. At the time, I was the single dad for a couple of years with Jose.
And young sorry for cutting you off, but from when he was born, to when you got with Alba, what was the age?
Jose was 3 years old when Alba came into the picture.
Gotcha.
3 years old, and what I didn't want was the person I was with previous Alba. Like I never wanted her to meet anybody in my family. And it was because I knew it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, as a man, I would come out and say maybe this is I guess I'm throwing out one of the secrets, ladies. if you never meet anyone from his family, and not even his close friends,
You're not it.
you're not the one.
That ass. I did not
You
want.
are not
I did not
the one.
want this person to meet anybody in my family.
If
bro.
the question comes up,
But
it's like, why
the
do I
person-
never meet anybody?
Right,
in your
right,
family,
yeah,
on
then you
your
should already
side?
know the answer
Yeah,
at that point. But like at the time, all he knew was who he knew at the time. When he met this chick, I was like, oh, man, well, you know, she was nice with him and all that, you know what I'm saying? But I was, in my head, I just knew it, like, she wasn't long term. Like, I knew it. But I never wanted, you know, Jose to meet, or my parents, I didn't even know. I didn't, I just, but they created, you know, they came across. So I'm like, shit. So then I went, when Adelante came into the picture, and then I introduced, my mom was on some like, but you introduced me to the lady, like, you can't be, stop coming at me, introducing me to people. Yeah. But I was like, I didn't want to introduce you to the last one. You decided to freaking visit me for no freaking reason, man, randomly, and then the shit was there.
That's your
Right?
fault.
And then I'm sorry you taught me manners, so I introduced you guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I introduced, I wanted to introduce Albania with my parents and all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so it was,
dope.
you know, I'm saying that because Albania is not a parent, right? But I met her, she was a teacher at a daycare. So she, like I said, she already had, you know what I'm saying? That's just where, like, my daughter Kylie gets it. These maternal instincts, like, they just in the genes. I was learning stuff from Alba. Like, sometimes Alba would be like, yo, you didn't pick Jose up today? Like, I was like, oh, I don't, you know, for some reason, I just thought you just wanted us two here. Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah. But it said, but she was just making it aware of, like,
The parental thing.
right. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, remember, she's not a parent, though. You know what I'm saying?
She knows.
She's not, she don't have to deal with my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure she didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody that already had a child. But, you know, but I kicked that game, though.
She never expressed that?
No, because she see in the beginning she thought that me and Cindy had drama. I was like, yo, nah, me and Cindy be like, we don't. At the time, we barely communicated.
Right.
This wasn't. It was just that we just knew every time we spoke, like the conversation never ends well. So
Don't you hate that?
yeah, you know, but we grew out of that, and I could hit Cindy up right now, but it's not something where I'm like, yo, my nigga was good. Like, it's not like that either.
Yo, I got a question for you that
Yes,
I probably needed from some experience. Well, how old was Jose when you introduced to Albania?
That's crazy because he was in the bathroom right now. That was part of this. Wow, yo, what a segue. Like, that wasn't even meant like that. So Jose was 3 years old when Albania came into the picture. Yeah. So
And you introduced Jose.
Yeah.
You knew Albania.
Yeah, from 3 years old on. And it's funny,
And
Albania.
how many years were you with Albania before you?
So I was with Albania when we got married. We was together 3 years when we got married. You know?
From birth to then,
Basically, yeah,
from
basically.
baby, then
But it
3
was-
years
Yeah,
old.
it was before pre-K. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was the one who brought it to my attention, signed them up to this pre-K program she found.
So it's a well-known fact that she knows that, you know, I'm dealing with this man. I have to deal with this child.
Right.
And we all got to move forward together.
Right, and then you know, unconsciously she was just like, listen, check this out, or you go over here, whatever. And I'm like, which then made me a better dad down the line. You know what I'm saying? Because, and it wasn't like not that I didn't want to, I was being lazy. It was just that she just knew more certain things that I just didn't know, and I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm here to learn, bro. Even us as 40, like I'm here to learn regardless. You know what I mean?
No.
So she was, you know, she made me a better dad. So now when these other three came by, you know what I'm saying? Like, so between Jose and Jaden, I think we're talking 9 years apart, right? Something like that. So, guys, you know, I had them young, but at the same time, it took a while for the second one. So I wasn't like, no, I'm not knocking people up here. Like, no, wasn't the case.
How did Albania pressure you to meet Jose?
No, not at all.
She didn't?
No.
Did you feel like 3 was the age, or did it just fall on you?
So, like when I knew the moment that I was, yeah, she's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, because the one previous before that, I wasn't, you know, I was having fun, but I just wasn't.
She wasn't meeting anybody.
Right, yeah, you're not meeting nobody in my family.
But she gave the way you describe it, she gave you the aura of this is a mother in the making.
And she
this is a foregone conclusion.
Bro, like I met her at the daycare. It was crazy. My guy who did that's the stop that she was working at, he had to leave early, so I had to do the stop. So then Albania worked with Wendy. You guys know Wendy. So Wendy was giving birth to her son. So Albania had a substitute for Wendy that day. So both of us were not meant.
Bureau.
Both of us were not meant to be at that stop. It was because my guy left early, so I had to do it. She was taking care of. She had to take Wendy's place, and then she's there, bro, with the kids, and you know, I'm servicing the place, and I'm hearing her with the kids. I'm like, yo, she's ill with this. Like, she's, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, we're talking what, 22, 23 years old, like. Fuck,
yeah,
like,
but you said that before. You said that before.
Yeah.
When you went through all this stuff, you're like,
Yeah,
this one's gonna be my wife.
Right. So, you know, like once I knew off the rip. So then I was like, you know, so I wanted you to meet people. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. Because there I knew it was, you know, shit was real. So to answer your question, like, you know, yeah, I've made it off the rip that she made me a better dad than when I'm a better dad now because of Albania. Like, you know, because of
you've been a better dad since.
Yeah, right. So, but it's, you know, sometimes you always that doubt.
You gotta
right, no. At first I give myself doubt, but then at the end I was like, yo, fuck this. I should be celebrating Mother's Day too.
I'm a mother and a father.
There you go.
You know how they do.
There you go.
Oh, don't make me get into that.
Get into what? Get into what exactly?
Don't
wait.
Father's Day became Single Mother's Day.
Yo, what?
So the flip side. It's like the best thing parenting with your significant other, your wife, whatever the case may be. What's the most difficult part? And Jonathan, lead us off. You're the one with the youngins.
The most difficult part. Well, let me throw in the best part before I get to the most difficult part. The best part of raising my kids with my wife is, number one, seeing her growth. We've been together since we were 17, so we were kids. But seeing that growth, like Hojo said, seeing that motherly figure just come out, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know she had it in her.
Really?
I mean, because we were kids. We were so the stages that I saw my wife grow from. I wouldn't say that there was a stage in between where I'm like, I saw her, you know, with newborn kids, how she treat. We were not around that. I mean, and.
Plus, you're not thinking at that age.
Yeah.
You're not.
I wasn't really. I mean,
that was different.
I knew she was responsible. She's always been responsible. She's in the healthcare industry, so she has some compassion. But
she cares about people.
I'm glad you threw in the sum. But
she cares about people.
He has to go home and sleep.
She gives him a shot.
We gotta take it easy.
But that switch. Listen, I'm still
what switch?
amazed
what are you talking about?
till this day. That switch when my kids were born, that motherly instinct is real. Yeah, that mama bear, I'm in awe sometimes of the things that she does. When my son turns 3, my daughter turns 2 a week later. So they were literally back to back. Irish twins.
Exactly how we planned.
Getting it in. You know, but
exactly how we planned.
I mean, you mentioned that with the mother instinct. Then I want you to keep going with what you were saying, but also dive into that feeling of looking at this person that you created this kid with and know that without hesitation this person will put you down in the fucking dirt for those kids.
No question.
Which is not baffling to me, but which is like, wow.
But you don't matter anymore.
Exactly. the donor goes away in a fucking heartbeat.
Now that you're here, you can die for these.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In a weird sense, that makes me feel good, because if my wife is able to put me down, the father, what do you think she'll do to strangers? I mean,
that's a good answer.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Somebody likes to sleep.
I'm gonna point out one other thing. You're a good man, because my answer would have been, I thought you were about to say, you know what I'm saying? You know, for some sick reason, I feel the same. Like honestly, yo, for my kids, bitch, I will kill you.
I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, you get I get the wild eye, like, woo. That's what you do.
Get the Jada picking eyes.
Like, yo, I will kill you for my kids. Like,
So I'm glad you brought that up. That was the best part of parenting with my wife. To touch on, I would have to say, like, I don't want to call it the worst part because it's not really the worst part. It's just difficulties that, number one, new parents go through, and just little dings and dongs that people go through.
Jay, speak on
with having 2 small children under 3, both having working jobs and careers and just dealing with life and trying to maintain a relationship between my wife and I. We actually had to sit down. This is another thing too. I'll give her another little star on her wall. The communication, I guess she understood that needed to be bumped to another level if we were going to make this work with these kids, because our communication from when we started, obviously 17 till now, it's drastically improved, in the sense that we sat down one day and we had a talk about us losing ourselves in parenthood, meaning we were parents 24/7, but we were forgetting about being husband and wife.
I'd love to touch on that.
So who, if you don't mind me asking, where is the bottleneck in the communication? Is it you or her?
It bounces back and forth based on whatever the issue may be. So we spoke. In this case, she brought it up. She brought up the fact that we're getting lost in being parents, and it became a regimen. It was a routine. This is what we do: bathe the kids, get the bottles. Nighttime, everyone's tired. We go to bed, and it's like wake up.
Same record
do
for
it all
every
over
relationship.
again.
Yep.
That's daily. So,
That's,
I'm gonna tell
every
you
relationship.
I'm gonna tell you where parents get lost in a lot of the times, because, like Jose told you, I do marry people for a living. They ask me for advice all the time, and even though I'm not married, you don't have to be married to give good advice. A lot of people and a lot of parents, what happens is they get lost in the kids. Yeah. Look at this constant cycle, right? You just said you get lost in parents. They shift soon as little TJ's born. They shift their whole life. No shots, right? But now all of a sudden we got to take little TJ to soccer. We got to take him to baseball, and they're shifting their life instead of TJ shifting their life for the parents. Yeah. When the kids grow up and they're teenagers, we wonder why the kids are entitled and why we're supposed to, we're not dropping the world to take care of them. It's because we've been doing that our entire life, and now we don't know how to break that. What did my grandfather do to me?
Right.
And
we don't know how to break that.
And the kids see the parents as robots.
Yeah.
Right.
That my parents work for me. Like I'm like my parents work. They pay these bills so that I can go to soccer, so that I can go do this, so that I can do this recital, so that I can do this. Instead of my parents are going to fucking Paris to work on their marriage, and then this weekend I have dance recitals, so I might not be able to do it.
Okay, that's
or I might. So I'm like,
that's a bit excessive. That's a bit excessive, but but it could be from my parents are going to Paris to do whatever, or they're just sitting on the couch making out. Wow, like it's different dynamics. I'm saying it's different dynamics.
But we're also talking about our women, right?
That's right.
Our women want to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like we can spend time in the house, but the house reminds them of the kids, and they want to be dated for the rest of their life.
Remember what you said about your woman about focusing on the connection between the two of you guys, which is what I got, where there doesn't have to be a trip to Paris. Just get your ass here, get under the covers, give me some lip service, and that's what some men want, but that's what most women want, which I feel the attention that they would love to have, whether it's on a balcony overlooking the Eiffel Tower or on the couch under the covers. and just be, I'm here, give me you.
Right.
Yo, listen,
Yeah,
I'm 100% with you, but you gotta understand.
There's different levels. I know. There's different levels.
Your woman will love you for that moment, but that's like eating pizza every night. She's gonna want you to take her to Paris. She's gonna want you to take her to Spain. Even a weekend in Miami. Even a hotel down the street.
I want to build up to Paris. I don't want to just go straight to fucking Paris.
A hotel away where it's just
you're right.
you guys. A date night.
It matters.
I'm gonna tell you, if you forget why you're there and how those kids got there, when the kids turn 18, you guys are not gonna know each other.
And the women,
you guys are not gonna know each other.
The responsible women in your life will let you know that same thing. This is what fucking matters. And I go through that wholeheartedly, and it makes me a better man to do more, to do better. It shows that what I hope to achieve is that, okay, you're showing me to do more, to do better, to do this, to do that, but then I want to make sure that, look, there's two sides to the coin. You want me to do all this for you. When are you going to realize you need to do certain things for me? It's a two-way street.
I tell Albania through memes that I send her. Like, yo,
I don't like the whole happy wife thing. Like, I don't.
Listen,
That's when I realized that
I'm going to tell you guys off the rip.
That's when I realized when men fucking die first. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Like that, you know I meant
that's
that
why I'm
first.
kicking the bucket. Yo, listen. In my head, it was happy wife, happy life, right? So, dude, I still do bro, I wake up every morning, I look at her and I tell her, so what are we doing today? What's today's agenda?
Was that before or after you kicked the bed?
Right. No, this is before we brush our teeth. Like, yo, so what's happening today? And she'll give me the agenda. And I had to ask her 2 or 3 times, bro, because I'm trying to program. And like in the morning, it's like, yeah, but how she wants me to do this if I'm gonna... Yo, you want me to go all the way over here and then come back there and go back there? Yes.
Oh, how many times did they tell you? I just told you this.
No, dude. Listen. I love my wife to death, right? I had those moments where I'm like, she gets mad. Like if I'm doing it on purpose, like, no, listen, I tuned you out the last time. I'm be honest. Like, so I'm asking you again because I really do not know. Like, I do not know. And then there's sometimes she'll tell me shit like, I thought I told you. Like, nah, bro, you ain't telling me that. Because that sounded like something that if you would have told me that then and there,
I would have got it.
I would have reacted a certain way. And so what did I say? I don't know what you said because maybe I wasn't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, because, I got Cotty's recitals and then, Jaden's sports, and sometimes, like right now, Jaden's involved literally right now in 3 Harlem tournaments, basketball, right? They're all 3 separate tournaments, right? And Jaden's involved in the flag league in Yonkers, flag football in Yonkers.
Yeah, I'm
at the same time. I don't get, bro. Hey, you see me? Okay, let's go. We gotta go. We gotta do this. And sometimes I just be like, Lord, please just give me a break.
Yeah.
Just give me a break. Just a break.
Just waiting for that contract. Dropped in Jaden's lap.
Like that she tells me, no, yo, the kids are not doing anything the next 2 weeks. What? Bro? Yes.
Paris, here we come.
Bro, I go, and then either Paris or I go as far as you. I was gonna like, maybe I just want to stay home.
Yeah.
No, we work mad hard because we want to do nothing.
Right, bro. Listen. I swear on everything I love. One night, we had, I think, Mile or maybe one of our Albanian students came home to watch all 3 of them, right? The kids, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, so we get to go out, yo, for real? She was like, oh, shit. We went to a restaurant, me and Alba, right? And, bro, we yawned like 17 times, right? And the food came, we just there, like, just sitting down. And we're like, you want to go home? She's like, yeah. Like, yo, we're tired, bro. Like, yo, the kids don't got us drained to a certain level. And I'm like, I just want to go to sleep.
It's for balance.
It does.
Yo, I swear to God, it's amazement where the optimal night would just be, look, let's just go to sleep.
I don't want to dig it out. I don't want to, make a fucking R&B movie or this shit and that. I just want to hear you snore.
Right, right.
And just I wake up, drooling.
And then we don't gotta go.
I handle you in the morning.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
That's what we want to do. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Our ladies don't want to do that. Listen, because I've heard it. I've done what I wanted to do for a long time, and then over compounded time, right, of doing what you want to do, she goes, I want to do something, right? We never do nothing, and it's just like, well, okay,
we always doing something.
Right. You think we are?
Just came back from
you think we are?
I feel like I was all over the fucking world.
Yeah. You think we are? But to be honest, we went to work. We came home. We took Jaden to soccer. We came home, fucked our wife, and then we woke up and did it again. And we think that that's something that we had that intimate moment with our girl, that we do have these moments, and she's just like, yo, it's like eating pizza every day. Yeah. We gotta find a way to do, and also show our kids, nigga, you're not going to soccer today. I'm about to take your mother. I'm about to take your mother to freaking Coney Island. This is our day. Like, I don't know what you planned. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this is your mother's day.
And
the battle is, do you want to show your kid that? Or when Jaden fucking makes it to the NFL, do you want to have your name in his speech? Like, yo, I got to give it up to my dad every game.
I want that. And if he doesn't say my fucking name, I'm fucking him up on side.
I can see you getting up in the car like, did you know what I did for you? Did you know what I did for you? Did you know what I did with your mom?
This times I just want to I'm like, yo, we just gonna hang out. And everybody hits me like, dude, we ain't hanging out. Jada got a game. I'm like, fuck, yo, Jada's gonna beat those kids, though. We're on the outcome, whatever.
I can see you embarrassing. I got the fucking receipts. I got the receipts.
Yeah, you owe me $237.
These videos. That's my iPhone. I got the masters to these videos.
I got the gas receipts.
I feel like a record company.
I got the masters.
You ain't going nowhere.
Hilarious. But the battle, to keep tying into John's question, the battle is, now, like, do we want to be a part of that speech, or how do we balance it with our wives? Like, because, we do want to be a part of something. We want our wives to give some type of reciprocity. All this work that we're doing for our kids in the home.
Like, we're not dumb. We're conscious of what they did. You know what I'm saying?
We don't want to be reduced to wallets. Right. We take care of bills. You get to not do nothing.
The reason what we are as a father is only because of them. But we still have to deal with who they are as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, and everything else. So for me, it hurts me because they don't see it that way.
They meaning who? I'm sorry.
The women in our lives don't see it that way. That we have to deal it. We have to deal with it in that dynamic, and that it's a lot for us. Right. But it can be so automatic for them that I could deal with this shit.
I could deal with it.
But they're like, whoa, wait a minute. But understand how we deal with it. Yeah. And if they understood how we deal with it, I feel it would make for a better situation, for a better conversation, to make things run a little more smoother.
You think our women give us a space to be vulnerable?
If they have the ability and they get to the point of, let me see, this man is in my life. If they see it in the way of, this man is in my life, this man is another person that I'm dealing with, this man has his own personality, this man has his own way of doing things. If they see it in that sort of sense, to get our personality, to get our way of thinking, to get our way of dealing with things, I think it will make for a better situation of better parenting, better relationships, better way of dealing with the situations that we have to deal with to go forward as a unit, rather than always constantly having to remind each other to be like, look, we have to be on the same page. Because if you have to remind each other to be on the same page, when it should be automatic, because you have to raise another human being that has to be out in the world to deal with other damaged human beings. It makes a difference. And if both sides realize that, because look, we're all fucking human, but yeah, there are women and there are men, and we get together, we make more of us. But there's this dynamic that makes us more than what we are, that makes life the way it is. And if we realize that and give each other a little bit of leeway, but still check us on the bullshit, I think it makes for a better situation.
100%, yeah. Yeah, I always talk about, okay, look, whatever our kids bring to us, whatever scenario, whether you disagree with me, like, I try to be like, listen, just, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but like, don't we're not having that who's wrong in front of the kids. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Like, I could take that. I don't mind bro. I could take an out.
Yeah.
But just don't do it in front of them, because they're just gonna. So now it reaches the point where, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask Mama, because she's gonna back me up, because.
Yep.
Because if
you say no, I already see that Mama can say yes, and everything's all
and
good.
Vice versa.
Right, and vice versa. Right, and vice versa. Because I'm also conscientious of, like, well, if your mom told you can't go outside, then you can't go outside. You know what I'm saying? In my head, I'm gonna be like, yo, why can't they go outside?
Yeah.
What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
That's
But then she tells me, like, oh, because it is. Oh, well, okay, no, they can't go out. But you know what I'm saying? But like,
but in front of them,
in front of them, it's only like, well, she said no, so I'm gonna just keep asking her, because so then it reaches a point sometimes, like, wherever Alba goes, the girls follow, whatever, and then, like, go ask Daddy. It's like, oh, why is Daddy? Because Daddy's gonna kick me out the room, and you're the one who's gonna keep me in the room. So why would I ask Daddy? I come to bed and you see both girls there. I'm like, yeah, y'all need to go to your rooms, and they look at their mom like, yo, you said we could stay here, basically. That look, like, yo, you said you could stay here, and, like, you gonna change Daddy's mind? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that right there.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, is that there needs to be what's called a unified front. The unified front, regardless of what. Right. Because it makes a difference.
Regardless of who's good cop, bad cop.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And there shouldn't even be a good cop, bad cop. Because if both parents are on the same page, then they can complete each other's sentences of, yeah, I said they're both that's right. Your dad said,
both good cops, whatever the case may be. Right? Yeah. Sure.
But even then, it's like, it's a parent's way of calling children on their developmental bullshit, because they're trying to get over,
right.
They're feeling it out,
right.
They're feeling it out.
Like, sometimes I'll be like, yo, when you coming home? I'm like, I got like 2 more stops, because they wilding out, they driving me crazy, right? When I get home, I'm like, they driving me crazy. Oh, they good now because you're here. Like, you know what I'm saying? As if, like, these fuckers don't respect me. You know what I'm saying?
Like, all of a sudden,
I get mad at the kids. Like, yo,
kids are straighten up.
Bro, but for her to call me is because, like, I don't exercise every option right now.
No, but I had the fear of Jesus in my mother. Like, come on, like, my mother was the general. Like, you couldn't, like, and I didn't understand why women wait till we get home until say that we the enforcers, right? And they acting good now.
Oh, well, we enforcers them to their convenience. Like, what?
You
like,
walk in,
take care of this?
Like, they're chilling, they're scrolling on Instagram.
Bro, sometimes I go home,
I thought they were hanging from the ceilings. What's going on?
And no, they fine now. I'm like, okay, well, it sounded like you needed help.
But I deal with different difficulties because I'm not with my children's mother. I actually have a crazy kind of slew of children. So my 3 children, my middle child is with a different mother.
Right.
Okay.
Mike Barber is my Nick Cannon.
But see, this is the dynamic that we need. Speak on it, man. Speak on it.
So when I speak to y'all about, like, this, just the emotional growth and stuff like that, like, I understand the thing that you guys are going through with the women that you're with.
Right. The one woman.
Right. Yeah. You guys are blessed. And then Jose is a grown man. So, like, you don't have to deal with that. But, like, you guys are blessed to be with the women. You guys are blessed to be with the women that you're with. So, like, that's why I had to have so much emotional growth to understand women. Like, to understand, like, why they're yelling at me, to understand why they're mad. Like, to understand what they're great. And, like, even now that I'm with a woman now, That's why I asked you the question. It took me a long time to introduce her to my children.
Yeah?
It took me a long time, and I got pressured.
Unconsciously?
First,
Or worried about certain scenarios?
No. At first, unconsciously.
Right.
At first, like, no, I'm not thinking about my kids being with you. When it started to come up, it was just that, okay, wait a minute, are we serious enough for you to meet my kids? You know.
You knew she was like, okay. So at that very moment, were you serious as were you as serious as she was?
No.
At that moment.
No.
Okay, got it. Okay,
no,
got it.
I wasn't. But the thing,
but you were calculated about it because these were your child. These were your
calculated
children.
wasn't even a word.
Right.
I was very vocal.
Right.
I was very upfront with her. And sometimes my sisters, I have 5 sisters, blessed to have 5 sisters. They told me I was too forward.
Shout them out.
Right.
Who are they?
Yeah, I mean, my sisters Vashawn, Ebony, Colleen, Vera, and Rita, right? Like, they all gave me pretty much the same line of advice that I'm a little too forward, right? Just telling her how I feel about children, how I feel about her meeting my children.
Right.
But I just wanted things to go my way, right? We all try to have some type of control away. I still struggled with that until one day. It had to happen. It was my birthday, and it had to happen where she met my children, and that was kind of like a weird moment.
You brought this up on my birthday, right?
My birthday last year, October 29th, it was in like a cabin.
Right, but I remember you telling me the scenario on my birthday when it was at
I did.
Yes. I remember now. Yeah, okay, cool.
So not to go down a rabbit hole with that.
Right.
I brought this whole thing up to tell y'all, yeah, man, it's a struggle being a father and having to try to be in different people's lives, and also know that you're working. Right, you have to work to try to survive, and if you don't work, then you can't provide. And you can't give time. But kids spell love TIME, and if you can't spend that time, you know what I'm saying, then you're not giving it to them. But then if you're spending time with them, you're not working. Right. Understand that struggle that we go through every single day. Every single day.
I see it as a balance, not as a struggle. But please keep on.
Oh, shit. I see it. There's a struggle with trying to find the balance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect way of wording it.
There's a struggle with trying to find the balance and doing that. Absolutely. Because you know that your sole purpose as a man is, now that they're here, like, you have to guide them into a life that they're supposed to be. Right? At minimum until they're 18 years old. That's your responsibility, right?
You feel like the caretaker that you need to direct them in the life that they should be fucking going.
But then also at the same time, if you're not growing your legacy, if you're not growing your name, if you're not taking the time to grow, because half of the time we had these children before we knew who we were. Right? And now we have to have these children. We're growing up the same time we're raising our children. We're trying to grow this legacy. Hopefully that when this kid has our last name, that it means something. Right. You know why these white kids got their grandparents or great grandparents picture on top of the mantle? Because they left them some goddamn money. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? They know where they came from.
Thanks, Grandpa.
The legacy should be automatic, because I have my own issues with legacy, but the legacy should be automatic if you're doing it the right way. If you're doing it the right way, it has its own lane.
But who knows? Who knows?
Right. I'm until you get to that moment.
Your legacy might be Frank White, bro. You might be the guy, the best drug dealer in the world. Right. If you're showing your son how to do it the right way, that might be the wrong way. Hey,
right. And you might not be around to see it, but still, if you put it on that lane to go where it should, and hopefully it does,
you can only hope
it'll go the way it'll go the way it should. But again,
if everything falls in place,
you can only hope. I just tie back to what he was talking about legacy, about how, like, the difficulty in me having so many, like, this whole broken but yet blended family, right? And still trying to uphold my name and show them that I am a dad, that I gotta drive to Boston to go see my kids, and then I got to drive to Brooklyn anytime I got to deal with a difficult baby mother who might be angry that I'm not with her, so I got to deal with not being able to see my kid based off of her emotion, and those type of struggles still are today, and they all tie into.
Shout out to those who have to deal with it.
Okay, let me ask you real quick. I'm sorry, Jonathan, real quick. So how did you? I'm assuming you're still managing. How do you balance the different mothers? Because and the reason I asked, look, dude, I'm a 40-year-old too. Yeah. And I thank God, I never went through actual drama, baby mama drama with. And if she feels some whatever, we had the conversation, whatever. Like she wouldn't feel no type of way, or
speak on it.
She wouldn't. We never had that type of drama of like, yo, you're not taking, whatever, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be. But that's why I was wondering, like,
right. I mean, the way it's difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Right, all my children, not ashamed to say, were unplanned.
Got it.
And my mother, she passed away 2011. Outside of that, outside of that, once that happened, I spiraled and had 3 kids. Like I was kind of, and let's not place blame. Right, let's not place that this was some type of sympathy thing that happened.
Yeah.
Like I had these children, they were I was dealing with one woman. I cheated on her and had a baby with another woman. She and I weren't together, but we raised this daughter. But to come to find out, we were gonna have a son. And then a year later to find out that in between my son and my daughter that there was another woman that I got pregnant.
You sure you're not R&B singer right now?
I told you he's my Nick Cannon, bro.
I feel like there's an album.
He was Nick Cannon before Nick Cannon.
The number one thing that I think I did right in managing that was I was up front.
Okay.
I got another kid.
Right.
This is what happened. I'm now paying child support. Blah 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 blah.
That's honorable. That's very honorable.
I think outside of me trying to keep the two worlds together, me being that honest helped me manage it till this day.
Right. Okay.
Because there were no surprises.
Right.
So were they upset and understanding?
100. No, understanding. What? Come on.
Question, Daddy. You can still come back home.
I'm asking the question.
The woman that I had my middle child with, I don't want to disrespect her. Like I just don't think that was the time for her to have a child. Right. She knew it wasn't, but she had a child for her reasons, whatever reasons that was, right? But she decided to have that child, just not me knowing.
Right.
Whatever that was, right? When now the child is grown, it's a difficulty for me because that child is on the spectrum. He's a special ed child. The difficulty in me having a relationship with him is the relationship that I have with his mother, because this is a safe space. I really don't respect his mother since he's been born. She really hasn't done much to kind of like take advantage of the resources that she has to make this guy better, right? And then also when I try to talk to him, he really doesn't have a full conversation. So it's kind of like difficult, right?
But being the father, the Father's Day thing, you do your part.
I have to.
Exactly.
We're going to see Jaden on Saturday. We're going to Coney Island right after that. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? We got a Father's Day barbecue on Sunday. It's a great weekend. We all recognize each other. They all recognize each other as brother and sister.
Good.
I'm their father, right? Yeah. And managing those relationships between the two baby mothers is the hardest thing ever, because they now want a piece of me.
But it feels like I feel like you make the effort.
Right. I try.
And that's all you can do.
Because at the same time now you have to grow, right? Now I have a new relationship. She has a child. This makes me 4 kids now, guys.
Easily.
Like this makes me 4 kids.
Yeah, you with me, bro. Don't worry about it.
So yes, you're still dealing with that. You're still dealing with your life, right, and your legacy, and now you still have to grow, because eventually I do want to get married. I want to have so now you're dealing with a new woman. She has a child, and my man, like, bro, it's a lot to deal with, you know. but you manage it all.
Yeah.
Hopefully that they all are amicable. You bat for all of them when they talk about each other. You know, if one is talking about one, you bat for the other. You make sure that one is not disrespecting the other. Right. You show that consistent behavior with yourself, so that they know who you are and who you represent for each mother, regardless of the way you feel about that.
Right.
The way, like the way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in the sense that whether from the woman expecting it from a man or the man expecting it from a woman, and since we're all here, all men, our focus on that is that how we are and how they acknowledge us, it's an important thing. And not many people, not many women see that, to acknowledge a man with how they are, who they are, what they are. If you don't do that, how do you expect them to be what you want them to be?
But let me add to that, though, which also ties into a question that I want to ask you, and I hope I'm not getting too personal, but
Please.
How do you, basically my question is, do you let the way that they think of you, meaning your children's moms, affect how you basically parent your kids? Meaning, because we all know of situations where you'll have a baby mama and there's some drama, and based on how she's reacting to you or how she's speaking about you, you kind of treat the child based on that.
Right.
Like it kind of shifts your parenting from being the parent you want to be to being, well, I got to be this way because your mother's acting this way with me.
No, 100%.
So it's like, how do you, I don't know, I guess put blinders on and just continue to be a father, or is that
That's difficult.
doable?
It's doable, and I gotta say, admittedly, I haven't been doing it. The children that I have with the one mother, my oldest and my youngest, I have to say that, yes, I have been putting a lot more attention to them, because those are the kids that I raised, right? It wasn't until the middle child that I knew and all of that happened. And also added on with the behavior of his mother. That kind of adds, to answer your question, it does add on to it. The difficulty in the relationship that I have with her makes it difficult for the relationship that I want to have with my son. On top of the fact that my youngest son is 6. When it's time for him to call me, he wants to call me, he FaceTime me, yo, Dad, listen, I broke my tooth. Look, I got another tooth missing. But my other son can't do that. So if I don't reach out to him, I'm not going to talk to him. If I don't go get him, she has no resources, no car, no way to transportation to come get me, so I'm not going to see him. That relationship is a lot more difficult, on top of, to stay on your topic, her behavior. And when she acts that I'm not able to do these things for him, she acts out in a manner that takes away my liberty from being the father that I want to be to this kid. And that anger, I do take it out on time with him. I do.
Because you feel like you don't want to do it because of
Interesting.
how
You say you take your anger out on time.
He just said it. I feel like I don't want to deal with it.
Not with him.
And it's not with
her
him.
bullshit is so overwhelming.
It's
that
knowing
You
that
remove yourself from that.
it's knowing that
Gotcha.
dealing with him
Gotcha.
requires a transfer from her.
Right.
I feel like that specific topic right there needs to be talked about, and I'm so glad that Oscar has given us a platform to really bring it up, because mainstream only documents the woman's voice, the woman voicing out, oh, he's a deadbeat, he doesn't even come see his child. Very rarely do we get the other side of the story, and it's like, okay, he didn't come last weekend, but why? Like, we never bothered to find out why he didn't show up last weekend to pick him up. We just say, oh, he didn't show up? Oh, deadbeat. Like,
Right.
And that's the story that's built by her and her community as well. That builds, and you start to feel that way when you really have tried. Right. So now I think about continuity. I think about legacy, and I think about this is fucking full circle. By the same thing that I watched my grandfather do, I also watched my father. And as a man now, I can see now how my mom's might have been a crazy baby mother, right? Like, and it might have been difficult, and it might have been difficult for my father, to kind of be around. Like my dad, like no, I can. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right.
You're speaking on that generational pain. So please. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, it doesn't make it right.
Right.
But just to tie full circle to John's first question of how I watched my grandfather, I also watched my father.
Right.
And I can subconsciously feel how, yes, my mother might have been a crazy baby mother, and it might have been difficult, and my father was trying. And my father was trying because, and when he came around, he was the best dad ever. When he was there, it was the day of all days. And my sister, being the older sister, kind of knew my father was for the bullshit. He kind of disappointed her a couple of more times than me, or more than I can tolerate. But I still say that he tried. I can look at it and say, listen, he was a man that was still trying to find himself.
You saw the effort, yeah.
He had a child with a woman which he told, I'm not ready for a child. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? I'm not ready for a child. And the woman looked you right in the face. Is like, well, this is about to happen. Exactly. What you about to do? What are you about to do? And then they get mad at you when you're not this father. When I told you, I'm not ready.
I told you from day one. I swear to God.
I told you from day one.
Listen, I don't know.
You read the warning label.
I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but that is the tombstone, and it just came to me. That is the tombstone. That is the writing on the tombstone of fatherhood. I'm trying.
Right.
I'm trying. I'm trying, and that shit'll be there 3 times because you'll say it, and no one's gonna feel it until the 3rd time, and then they're gonna see that fucking tombstone, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, you were."
Because they're gonna read the 3rd "I'm trying" when they're 65 and understand,
and
understand. Like you're like, look, listen, I'm trying it. Like, listen, like I got into this position. There wasn't some instruction manual like we said earlier. I'm trying.
And that 3rd trying has that tremble of how your voice was. Is I'm trying.
Right. It says shaking. It's the letters of that string.
Yes.
And they don't get it until we're gone.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for listening to part 1 of the Father's Day episode. Yes, we represented and we will continue to represent. Please wait for part 2. Enjoy.